This week we talked about temperance, which is the virtue that moderates excess and restraint. And one of the things that we looked at was the difference between single life and married life in trying to decide what to do with your time and your money was obviously a lot different when you were single. The main things that you had to think about were paying back your student loans, maybe a car payment, maybe rent or something like that. But once you're in the vocation of marriage, the money issue obviously becomes a lot more tight. You have a lot more bills and payments and obligations and financial burdens, if you will. And then you also have a lot of time restraints, and you definitely can't give of your time as much as you were able to outside of the home.
In the beginning, we decided that we wanted to tithe, but I was concerned with giving away 10% of our salary. So what I did, especially being single income, so I decided that I would only do 10% of what I brought home versus 10% of what I was made. It started to weigh on my conscience that I felt like I was cheating God. And the more I thought about it, the more I felt as though we needed to give 10% of my total income. No sooner did we do that we had an issue, major issue with the house. And we didn't know where that money was going to come from, but it ended up being a test. It was a week or two later that I ended up getting a bonus and a raise from work that ended up being able to make ends meet from that point forward. So that was a great thing that happened to us. And
sometimes it is harder to stick to the tithe or the giving in marriage as opposed to single life. Just reflecting back on that, because maybe you had more to give or there weren't as many risks. One of the quotes that we looked at this week in Temperance was from St. Teresa of Avila, and she said, "Our body has this defect, that the more it is provided care and comforts, the more needs and desires it finds." Are we ever fulfilled? Are we ever truly fulfilled, or do we always desire more? And I know in our consumerist culture, our American culture, we do always desire more. We're kind of geared and wired to want more, to desire more. It's like from whatever it is.
Humans in our species, we know through psychology that we are geared towards comfort as well. We will take the path of least resistance. I know this in myself. If there is something that I know that I want to do, if I have a list of things to do, I'll do the thing that's easiest for me to do and the fastest thing for me to do, rather than the more difficult, even if I know there's more return on investment with that. The world will offer you comfort, but we're not made for comfort, we're made for greatness.